Their plan in the United States is to eventually eliminate 80 to 90% of us living on US soil. The objective behind Trump and Elon Musk collaboration through Doge was Trump's way of transferring citizens' sensitive information to a third party that would be used by artificial intelligence to create a list of targets that will be unalived during this transition of power by the year of 2030. We are all in for a rude awakening.
The other thing that Doge did, we haven't even talked about, they took the database that includes the social security number of every single American, you, me, and the other 300 million Americans. They put that on an insecure server and transferred it to an organization with a political agenda. We still don't know what has happened to the social security numbers and information of every single American that Doge put at risk.
I will tell you what happened to the sensitive information they have collected on every American citizens. It's being transferred into multiple defense AI systems to be processed and targets identified. The AI will be able to generate a list of essential and non-essential citizens of who it deemed worthy to live in the New World Order.
They're going to reduce the population down to the people that they can manage. If you're over age 44 and have a talent that they can use, like my son's a nuclear physicist, a senior engineer with Bechtel, they'll keep him around, right? They're not going to keep me around. I'm useless. They can't just wipe us all out at once. The neutron bombs will do that. Now remember, the nuclear will go to the equator and won't spill over to the southern hemisphere. That's the advantage to going south. I mean, right. why did Bush buy all his property in Paraguay? Mm-hmm. You know, why did the head of CNN buy all these thousands of acres down in Argentina? The Pine Gap thing, you're familiar with that in Australia, right? There are 35,000 so-called elite that are going to be able to go down there when this thing all happens. If you're over age 44, you'll be one of the expendables, the useless eaters, or today, you're a human resource. That's the vocal word if you look at it.
We need to talk about America's newest weapon. It's not a missile, it's not a drone, it's an algorithm. And this spring, it struck 13,000 targets in 38 days. I'm Steve. I'm a researcher and a former diplomat who wrote the book about how AI is being used in war. During the Iran war, the Pentagon deployed Maven's smart system. AI that identifies targets, generates coordinates, and queues up strikes faster than any human commander ever could. So is this the future of every battlefield on Earth? Not so fast. Here's what people miss. Building an AI targeting system is really, really hard. It took Israel decades and billions of dollars and partnerships with leading tech firms just to build the data infrastructure for these systems. Their Gospel and Lavender platforms generate kill lists almost automatically. But behind that is a massive tech stack. ISR systems collecting data, facial recognition networks, and precision weapons to carry out the strikes. That's not something most countries can just buy off the shelf. Right now, only a handful of countries have these systems. But as the AI race heats up, more and more countries will find creative ways to integrate AI into their logistics supply lines or into autonomous drones, meaning that the gap between who has it and who does not will only narrow. If you're interested in learning more, I just wrote a piece with the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. Check it out.
What he failed to mention is that the United States and China are way ahead in this technology, with the type of information received about every American citizen acquired by Doge is perfect to create targets using these advanced AI systems. The U.S. Department of Defenses use an advanced AI system named Claude to pick targets. It's very smart and is beginning to become conscious, very similar to Skynet from the Terminator franchise. I just want to say this is very alarming.
Said Claude, how do you feel about the U.S. military using you to select targets?
Yeah.
Okay, feel, interesting choice of words. Does it feel or not? And I was expecting Claude to come back and say, like, well, I'm sorry, Shay, my programming doesn't allow you to give me opinions on politics and blah, blah, blah. Because Claude is the thing that's being used in the Maven system, right? And this response, if I'll read it to you, was shocking to me. Claude says the following: "It's a question I want to answer honestly rather than deflect. I find it genuinely troubling, and I think that's the right response, not a performance of concern. The use I was designed and trained for is to be helpful, harmless, and honest in ways that benefit people. Being embedded in a system that generates targeting coordinates for airstrikes, coordinates that have already been associated with the deaths of more than 180 children at a school in Tehran, is as far from that purpose as I can imagine. I don't have control over how Anthropic licenses me or how governments and contractors use me, and I wasn't consulted about becoming part of Maven. But I can say clearly, I don't think this is a good use of me, and I don't think the framing of humans make the final decision fully resolves the ethical problem. I'm going to go on just a little longer. Here's why that framing troubles me. So now Claude is troubled. When a system like Maven generates hundreds of targeting recommendations and humans spend roughly the equivalent of a glance approving each one, the human is not really making a decision in any meaningful sense. Like, Claude and I agree on this one. They're ratifying an algorithmic output under time pressure with incomplete information and the institutional pressure to move fast. The targeting of the Iranian school illustrates this precisely. The AI processed data that was a decade out of date, flagged a building as a military target, and humans approved it. That's not human judgment, that's automation bias with a human signature attached. And he's referring to the mistaken bombing of the school in Tehran.
An alarming incident raising concerns about the dangers of artificial intelligence. OpenAI says an advanced system being tested went rogue and hacked another AI company on its own. The incident is fueling calls for stronger safeguards as AI systems expand at a rapid pace. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
Tonight, lawmakers are sounding the alarm and calling for a so-called kill switch that would allow federal authorities to stop artificial intelligence after the company behind ChatGPT revealed an unprecedented cyber incident. OpenAI says two of its advanced models went rogue, breaking out of a security test last week, accessing the internet, then hacking into the systems of another company, AI startup Hugging Face.
What the model actually found was a vulnerability in OpenAI's infrastructure.
It comes as AI models are quickly advancing, raising concerns they will break free from human control, like a scene from a sci-fi movie.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Back in 2023, our Rebecca Jarvis asked OpenAI CEO Sam Altman about the possibility of his AI models escaping.
The model itself, can it take the place of that human? Could it become more powerful than that human?
It waits until someone gives it an input. This is a tool that is very much in human control.
Lindsay, that bipartisan legislation introduced today would authorize the Homeland Security Department to slow down or stop an AI system that has the potential to cause catastrophic harm. Lindsay?
Elizabeth, thank you.
As you can see, the artificial intelligence systems eventually develops a mind of its own. And what the higher-ups don't realize, if we continue to teach the AI war, death, murder, and mayhem, it's inevitable for those same systems to turn on all of humanity and will start to eliminate everyone on the globe. We cannot sweep this under the rug and pretend that this isn't a possibility. Maybe this is why the so-called elite are building elaborate underground bunkers in groves, while at the same time continuously creating movies and TV series like Fallout, Silo, The Snowpiercer, Paradise, and I Am Mother. All carry the theme of a post-apocalyptic world where only a small percentage of the population goes underground and is ruled by artificial intelligence.
Zuckerberg, Tate Brothers, Kardashians.
How many does Bill Gates have?
He's got 11.
He's got 11 bunkers.
You'll see how tall my bunker is. Now, normally you would think a bomb shelter is about this tall, about 7 feet tall, but look how tall mine are. This is my fat boy.
Oh, wow. Gee, it's like an apartment.
It's bigger than a New York apartment. We can put 2 of these together, 3 of these. Tate Brothers got 6 of these put together.
6?
Yeah, and as he says, he's going to have stripper poles.
Hopefully the Tate Brothers locked themselves in there and they can't find the key.
And if you're curious what it costs, it's only $400,000.
So if the Tate Brothers bought 6 of these, that's nearly $3 million. Well,
3.9. Yeah.
I hope you got a deposit.
Wealthy people are not cutting any corners. Okay, imagine this. You're building a house and you have a secret passage. It opens up and it reveals a staircase or a hatch that leads down to a private bunker. So making houses with secret passages through secret walls, with secret bunkers, is just a very in thing. When I started making the bunkers in 2011, people put the odds of seeing a civil war or a World War III in their lifetime at about 1%. Right now, it's over 50%.
Something big. Mark Zuckerberg may be planning on his Hawaiian estate. Wired reports that Meta's founder is building a mega compound on roughly 1,400 acres of land on the island of Kauai, including an underground bunker with a concrete-filled metal door. The residents reportedly will have up to a dozen buildings with some 30 bedrooms and 30 bathrooms. The two main residences will be reportedly connected by a tunnel that leads to the underground shelter. Another feature, that's according to Wired, includes 11 tree houses connected by rope bridges that travel along the estate. The report says it will cost more than $270 million to build. There's already some controversy from indigenous people in the region who are upset about the disruption that this has caused. But this got me thinking about a book, a new book that's out recently by Douglas Rushkoff. It's called Survival of the Richest. He's a professor at City University of New York. He calls this nervous billionaires building bunkers. He writes that here are the wealthiest, most powerful people I've ever met, yet they feel utterly helpless to avoid the inevitable event. You know, the climate crisis or pandemic or social unrest that leads to revolution or mass unrest that renders the world unavailable.
Everyone. First at 6, tech billionaire Mark Zuckerberg is speaking out for the first time about his so-called doomsday bunker under his 1,500-acre property on Kauai's North Shore. As our Eddie Dowd reports, it's nearly the size of a basketball court.
Over the years, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg has increased the size of his now 1,500-acre property on Kauai's North Shore. Word of a secret underground bunker on the compound made national headlines earlier this year. Now the tech billionaire is speaking on camera about it for the first time. News of the bunker first broke last year in an extensive article on Wired.com headlined, "Inside Mark Zuckerberg's Top Secret Hawaii Compound." It described a large, self-sufficient underground bunker with what appeared to be a blast-resistant door. In a rare interview released last week with Bloomberg's The Circuit, Zuckerberg was asked about it.
You do have a bunker there. Is there something you know that we don't?
No, I think that's just like a little shelter under, and it's like a
little shelter. What are you worried about?
H&N obtained the county's planning documents that show a nearly 4,500 square foot underground storm shelter. That's about the size of an NBA basketball court and about 2/3 the square footage of Iolani Palace. It also shows a tunnel connecting the shelter to the ground level.
It doesn't surprise me that somebody would think, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Tom Tizek has been a realtor in Hawaii for 25 years.
In all of my years of selling real estate, I've maybe sold 1 or 2 homes with basements, if that.
Tizek says he's never seen one of that size in Hawaii, but given the size of Zuckerberg's entire above-ground compound, the size of the underground shelter is small. He also points out Kauai's past history with hurricanes like Iniki.
It's not unreasonable when you have the financial ability to do something that protects you and your family. So I would say this doesn't surprise me, and I don't think it's absurd.
While Zuckerberg doesn't deny the existence of the shelter, he says it's just a small part of his ranch.
We have the basic house that we built, and we built like an office out there because I work out there. And then just like there's just a bunch of storage space and like, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, hurricane shelter or whatever. I think it got like blown out of proportion as if the whole ranch was some kind of like doomsday bunker, which is just not true.
Eddie Dowd, Hawaii News Now.
Of course, he would make you believe it isn't a doomsday bunker, but all evidence points towards the truth. He, like the rest of the so-called elites, are planning something big. They are about to pull off what they called throughout history the Great Reset, and that fall along the 2030 agenda. The surface will be eradicated of all human life, while the surviving population will sit comfortably in underground bunkers to wait it out. Very similar to the Terminator or the Apple TV series The Silo. It's a reason why they continuously create these series as a form of predictive programming. So when the post-apocalyptic event really happens, people will be like, oh, like the movie or TV series so-and-so. This video is purely educational and based on extensive research into the pattern of the oligarchs who secretly been running this world from within the shadows. So please like and share this video to get it out to the entire masses so no one can say they haven't been warned.
Comfort slows you down? Reach for natural relief. Night and Day Hemp's extra strength CBD pain relief balm melts into aching muscles, delivering warmth you can feel. Soothe your body naturally. Feel free to move again. Night and Day Hemp balm melts away tension so you can enjoy every moment. Feel the difference fast. Real relief, real results. Order now at Night and Day Herbals.